I healed at one of the week-long events 2 years ago. I had PTSD, fibromyalgia, and adenomyosis. And I was diagnosed with PTSD when I was 16. I wasn't really treating it that well or finding any treatments that worked for me. They put me on all sorts of SSRIs and different pharmaceuticals that actually made me worse and gain a bunch of weight. And I was actually more depressed after that. So by the time I was in my 20s, I was suffering pretty bad. The fibromyalgia came on. I could barely walk to my coffee break at work. And then by the time I was 27, they diagnosed me with adenomyosis, which is basically every time I started my cycle, the pain was really comparable to like going into labor. So a couple days in bed, screaming in pain. I'd get so much pain that I would actually throw up because it was so painful. And it would turn into like a 2-week long stomach issue thing that basically controlled my life between the PTSD and the adenomyosis. I had to plan everything around when my cycle would start, on top of the mental health that came with the PTSD. I was being triggered all the time when I was in public. And it was really hard to get anything done. So basically, I was spending most of my life in bed at that point, and I had a friend suggest the Dr. Cho retreats to me. I was just seeing it as like a wellness retreat to go to meditate and kind of find my ground. And I had no intention of healing until I got to the retreat, and I had seen on the screen they were posting all of the same diagnosis that I was suffering from. So it was in that moment in time I was like, oh my God, I'm going to heal this week. And I had realized that I had become a complete victim to my life. So I made that choice in that moment in time that I was no longer going to let the diagnosis or any of the fear or traumas that were ruling my life rule my life anymore. So, slowly throughout the week, I felt different things kind of being released. After every single meditation, I would text my best friend and be like, I'm a whole new woman. And I truly believed that after every single meditation. So just miraculously, after the end of the week, I actually started my cycle serendipitously on the day that the retreat ended, and I had no symptoms, and all of my symptoms disappeared and never have come back from both the PTSD and the adenomyosis.